again. So here's Brandon Marcello putting things into perspective. There are 400 plus players who have entered the transfer portal or opted out of the NFL or for the draft from bowl teams. Bowl teams. And he goes, how can you curb turnover? Lean into the problem rather than ignore it. It's probably time to make bowls pay players to stick around for a few more weeks. Otherwise, some games are just scrimmages.
Yeah, that's exactly what they should do. Look, the college basketball is already doing this with the South Carolina stuff. There's NIL games all over college basketball. Football would be wise to look to basketball and how to do some of the things well. So the game that Baylor's played the last 2 years in South Dakota, total NIL game for the players. Keep doing stuff like that. And look, the bowls have the money. If they didn't have the money, they wouldn't be doing the bowl games. So, yeah, they need to start lining the players' pockets a little bit to make sure they stick around because, there's no benefit to a lot of guys to play in the bowl. The other thing you do to curb turnover is change the calendar. But that's a more complicated issue than just paying the players.
Yeah, I think the calendar is now the big front and center topic this week as far as all the subjects sort of colliding into one and where they all sort of seem to resonate and where the big issue lies right now as the bowl games get kicked off this weekend of this subject right here. NIL comes into play, the NFL draft comes into play, all these different issues come into play. It's funny, though. It seems like the answer to every problem is pay the players now. Wait, you got pay the players. You got this, pay the players. You got this, pay the players. So maybe that's just the answer to everything. We're looking for other answers, and that's just the simplest one. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how much of an issue it is throughout bowl season. How much do people notice? How much does it take away from viewership? How much does that matter in the long run? I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, for the how do you keep players in, I also think it's weird, though, like, not every player is the same. Like, I mean, the second string receiver in the Boca Raton Bowl is, not the same as the guy opting out of the New Year's Six type of a game, but they're all dealing with the same types of issues. I just think when you paint with a broad brush, you almost create problems elsewhere as well because now everybody feels like they're the same as the guy who is opting to prepare for the first round of the NFL draft. So now you end up paying everybody. But like I said, maybe paying everybody is just the simplest answer. That seems to be the simplest answer in real life, right? Mm-hmm. You got problems, just pay somebody, and those problems go away or they get quieter or whatever. So maybe that would be the simplest solution here for those bowl committees to ensure that they're going to have the best players playing in their games that are not big time playoff games. But that's certainly one of the various issues that's floating around right now, and we're going to see how much that attrition carries over when we actually start to see these teams taking the field here starting, this weekend.
Yeah, because we haven't even seen a bowl game. We haven't watched a bowl game, and at 400 plus, we appreciate Brandon with that stat. I did not know it was that many, and learned a little bit about that. And then you want to talk about a guy that teased the fan base, All-American.
I'll say, paying players to I don't know that solves the bowl game issue entirely. The transfer portal issue is still going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean,
not if it's open in December.
Right, but that's different from paying the player. So it's a combination of things because you can pay him all you want to, but a guy still has to go in yesterday or today to get in there in time. And so that's I think the biggest thing, more so than the payment, although the payment's going to matter too. It's a combo, but that calendar is really where they find themselves in a pickle at the moment where a lot of things are converging at once.
And then one of the arguments, which really almost began NIL in the transfer portal, was, well, coaches can take a job and leave a team and not coach the bowl game. Same thing. It happens. Also,